Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia.
The other thing, when I met Tony, so this was 28 years ago, I drank about one bottle of soft drink, a small bottle of soft drink a week or a fortnight. He drank a huge amount of Coke, so I started drinking Coke. And then we changed over to Diet Coke because supposedly that was better for us in those days. Um, and yeah, I find I don't get as much pain when I'm not having anything with aspartame in it. So the joint pain, yeah, the artificial sweetener.
Because I rarely have been a fizzy, I'll have to take note of that because if I have fizzy, it's either I quite like the Waterford's mineral water, like the bubbly mineral water with berry. I quite
Oh,
like that,
yes.
or the lemon and lime.
Yeah.
Or if, and when do I drink it? If we have visitors or if I go to a pub or something and other people are drinking it, rarely do I just don't drink it very much on my own. But if I do, I prefer Diet Coke. That's the one
Yeah.
I like the most. When I was young, if I had to choose one, it was Tab, but we kind of don't have Tab anymore.
No.
I'm assuming Tab had aspartame, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, probably did. Yeah, that would have.
And Diet Coke definitely would. I don't like what's that other
Zero.
Zero? Yeah, I don't like Coke Zero as much, but most of the pubs, etc., only have Coke Zero.
Zero.
So
Yeah.
I compromise and have that. So I'll have
Yeah.
to take notice because I don't do it very often.
Well, I ended up drinking one or two a day, small bottles, like I was, which was just silly. And Tony was still going through heat. So he's on a lemonade. I don't know if that's got aspartame. I just have, spring, like mineral water, bubbly mineral water, because I still want it's the bubble sensation that seems to clean the palate. So that's what I stick to when I can. And
I've
and
always just been a flat water drinker. Most of the time, I'm happy with just a flat water, and
I'm not.
and tea or coffee.
I can drink
I quite like the fizzy, like just your bubbly mineral waters and that, but I don't like it any more than flat. So,
oh, I do. I struggle with the flat not giving me straight water. Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting my thirst met properly. I don't know why that would be, but but coffee, I'm having probably 2 to 3 a day. That's probably just replaced the caffeine I was getting from the Coke, which is probably another issue, but we're not going there yet because I've cut all the other things out, so I'm sticking with the coffee.
well, I like coffee.
Yeah. So, yeah, some of the really anal carnivore people won't, they are water, beef, and salt.
Okay.
It's called the lion diet, I think.
Right.
Yeah, no, mine's more.
Lions wouldn't have salt.
I guess they'd probably go to salty areas and lick the soils and things like that. Animals find salt, yeah, or did in their natural habitat anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you're near a saltwater lake or something, there'd be lots of salt on the shore.
Yes, yeah. And often clay has salt in it and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I remember now we actually had to do something with the horse. Do you have salt
licks.
blocks or something?
Kelly doesn't need it. But yeah, some people, they do need it. If you
I
feed,
remember we had to at one point with the horse, not all the time, so maybe I can't quite remember when it was or why it was.
if you're feeding lucerne, you may need to supplement with salt.
That might have been what it was then.
Yeah, lucerne leaches the salt, and some horses, when that happens, get headaches and get nasty, and that's why I don't feed lucerne. I haven't tried her on it, but Blaze couldn't have it because it would make him nasty. Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, even horses have to have different diets, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I know we used to have lucerne hay was one of the hays we get sometimes. I know
Yeah.
because the horse we had, Cheeky, her name was,
Yeah.
and she was very cheeky. And yeah, she was really hard to keep weight on.
Yeah. She was a thoroughbred, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah.
Kelly can live on the smell of a hay bag.
Well, the other horse that we had was a standard
Mm.
bred,
Mm.
and she did not need any supplemental feed. Like you'd see the two horses there together,
Yeah.
and you just wouldn't believe that they were in the same paddock.
Yeah, some people go to great lengths. There's great recipes for each horse with this two cups of this and one of that and all this other stuff. And when mine are in like their summer coats and stuff, they're really shiny. And people say, "Oh, what do you feed your horses? Hay. What else? Nothing."
Yeah, yeah. Well, because our other horse was Rose, so we had Rose and Cheeky,
Yeah,
and for Cheeky, yeah, my daughter had developed a recipe that worked really
yeah,
quite well for
yeah.
her. And so if she was around, she did it. But when
Mm.
I had to do it, it would be like you go out there and it'd be so much of this, so much
Yeah,
of that. And
yeah,
it did work. Like we were able to get weight on her
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah,
Mm.
early on, when I adjusted my first horse years ago down at Happy Valley Way, in the feed shed there were just all the recipes on like
Mm.
blackboards for each horse and all the bins down the bottom, and you'd go along and yeah, so
Well, so it's just like humans, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Like, because the two horses that we had were just so vastly different in their needs.
yes,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well, see, I take a heap of supplements because of the MECFS because I don't process nutrients effectively. So, yeah, if I talked about that on the carnivore groups, I'd be kicked off in a second. So I just don't mention it. Just
Oh. So
the
carnivores don't think you should have any supplements.
some carnivores are just as bad as some vegans.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, they're just
Mhm.
rampant. This is what I do, therefore it's the best thing ever, and everybody should do what I do. It's that religiosity that people get with whatever they're doing. So
I have to have vitamin D
mm,
supplements.
most Australians do.
If I don't have the vitamin D, my vitamin D gets really low, and that actually impacts my arthritis as well.
Mm,
That's one of the triggers when I realise, I don't know, because sometimes I just forget,
mm, yeah,
and or maybe sometimes at different times I think, oh, I've been outside so much, I don't need the supplements.
yeah.
And, but then I'll get stabbing pains in my bones where the arthritis
Oh,
is.
wow.
If I go and have blood tests, almost every time it's low
Mm,
vitamin D.
yeah. Mm,
Yeah. So, and it makes you, it can make you really tired not having enough vitamin D. Low
yeah.
energy, depression, and bone
Mm.
pain.
That's not nice.
No, no. And because people will say, oh, you just got to get out in the sun enough. And even the doctors here, like
Yeah.
in sunny Ballarat. So anyone
Mm,
that doesn't know Ballarat knows that Ballarat's not real sunny. We have a
mm,
lot more cloudy days than we do sunny days.
yeah.
And even they'll say, oh, you're just not outside enough. And it makes no difference,
Yeah.
vitamin D. So I don't know why I don't get enough vitamins D from the sun. It's probably because I have to have a hat if I'm out
Yeah.
in the sun, otherwise I get a headache. And
Okay. Yeah.
and the glare as well on my eyes.
Ah,
It's my
yes.
eyes. So you've got the hat,
And the sunglasses, and then
and the
sunscreen, and
sunglasses.
then there's no vitamin D. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think sometimes they simplify it too much too. I wonder behind vitamin D what other nutrients need to be at certain levels to process it effectively and utilize it. And doctors are never going to take it back to that level. So, yeah, I sometimes think that there's more to it. But I stopped wearing sunglasses a while ago, and
Mm.
I feel like that's had an improvement on my health. Now, decades ago, when I was outside all the time, I had the beginnings of what's called pterygiums, which is next to your iris, the whites, there would be like yellow lumps right next to the
Oh,
iris. They're called
yeah.
pterygiums. And I started wearing sunglasses and covering my eyes more.
Mm.
But I'm not outside to that degree anymore.
Mm.
I just feel like perhaps sunglasses can be a detriment at times to
When I
people.
moved here to Victoria, I didn't need sunglasses as much.
Mm,
Like, so I'll often go out without sunglasses, and even like I always have a pair of sunglasses in the car, but I
yeah.
don't always put them on.
Mm,
But when I went back to South Australia like last year and was there for the year, I thought, oh, I can remember why I always had sunglasses. I
yeah.
had to go out and buy some new sunglasses because it was just so glary and so bright over there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be squinting like
Yeah.
so yeah.
Does depend on the environment. Yeah.
So I definitely need sunnies in South Australia. It's just so
Yeah.
bright, and the sun reflects off of the bitumen
Yeah.
on the
Everywhere.
roads, and if you're down at the beach, it reflects off the water. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
mm.
Oh, dear.
And
Yeah.
it's just like it bounces into my eyes.
Yeah. I've got a lot of sun damage on my face, which other people would be able to see. I don't know whether you can see there's patches and, yeah,
Mm,
patches there. So I was worried about that. I'm not a fan of sunscreen.
mm.
And I spoke to my doctor about it, and she said it's not the sun getting on your face that is causing the marks on your face.
What
It's
is
the
it?
sun getting on your arms and legs that make your face produce these.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So I'm like, okay, so I have, so you're seeing me in t-shirt now. In winter I've got extra layers underneath to
Mm,
keep me warm. In winter you'll see me in t-shirts. In summer you'll see me in long sleeves. But they're those 50 SPF shirts a lot of the time.
mm,
So I tend to
mm,
cover them then. And that and some choices in skincare have helped. But it's also based in hormones. So when I was young and on the pill, my whole face went patchy brown, but it wasn't under here. I had a dark line. And I was
mm.
in a car with a man, and he said, "Oh, you haven't blended your makeup properly." And I looked and went, "I haven't got any makeup on. That's my skin." So it's called melanin staining. Yeah. So yeah. So
That's
it's different impacts in different places, and we don't know the source sometimes. So and that's why
mm.
I think with the sunglasses and the vitamin D, there might be an eye connection with processing it within the system.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, definitely. I am regularly low on vitamin D if I don't take supplements.
Mm,
Mm. But apart from that, I don't really take too many supplements.
yeah,
B12 is another thing that a lot of people are low in.
yeah, yeah. I haven't been tested for that one for a while. Yeah.
No, I haven't either. I probably
Mm.
need to go and get that tested actually.
Mm.
Been tested for a while. But yeah, apart from that, I don't tend to take supplements.
Yeah, which is the B vitamin that's most important for depression? I can't.
Isn't
Is that?
is that B12? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
B6 maybe. Yeah, I've got no idea. Don't know
Yeah.
enough about it. I rely on the professionals.
Symptoms: fatigue, headaches, what? Weight loss. No. um, impaired balance,
Oh, which
muscle
one's that?
weakness, and mood changes. Severe loss of severely low B12.
Balance.
Yep. So the first mild, if you're low just mildly, it's fatigue, headaches, and weight loss. Well, neither of us seem to be suffering from that.
If only.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But severely low is impaired balance, muscle weakness, and mood changes, especially depression. when's my next appointment?
Mm,
Get my bloods checked.
mm, mm. Well, when you're eating mostly plants, they do say that it's good to get um, particularly B12 checked regularly. So I tend to do that once every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Checked. I just get them to do all of it. Yeah.
yeah.
They
Well,
do,
yeah.
they do the thyroid, the
Mm.
what's the diabetes thing? I check
Oh,
them that
yes.
way,
Yeah.
and thyroid, the diabetes, then just general, yeah,
Yeah.
vitamin D, etc.
Yeah. With the carnivore diet, the doctor's more concerned about cholesterol. But I've
Oh
been
yeah,
reading some stuff about that that makes me want to not take everything the GP says about it. Sort of, if I do research something, I take it deep, but I take it on from ratified people, not from just random bullshit. And so I question that, but we've done some vitamin checks and stuff, and everything's been fine. And they thought that my vitamin C would be low, but it's not. And one of the reasons is some of the plants that people eat deplete vitamin C. So, and meat actually has some vitamin C in it, which I had no idea. Beef in particular, it's low, but because I'm not eating those other vegetables, that low bit is enough. So it's finding out those nutritional differences that's helping as well.
Mm.
Mm.